What's up everyone, it's Karthik with MoneyVest, and in this video we are going to be talking about Tesla, Palantir, and Nvidia, the trio, the trifecta of this market, which was collectively down over $300 billion, down almost 6% if you put them together. So this right here was, of course, the sell-off for these three companies. Brutal selling pressure today, down almost $303 billion. Like I said, collectively over 5.5% worth of losses, with Palantir now trading at under $70 per share. Was down a little bit over 7.8, almost 8%. So brutal day for Palantir, not as much as Nvidia, which was down over 6%, but over $230 billion of worth of losses, trading down to $140. And Tesla here is back under $400 per share, down over 4% on the day. So collectively, I mean, if you own these three stocks like I do, you had a pretty brutal day. I mean, of course, the entire NASDAQ had a big red day, but these three stocks obviously dropping 4, 6, 7%. We're selling like hotcakes on the day today. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that it is actually very difficult to create content on YouTube sometimes, because when I talk about these companies, when I talk about these stocks, believe it or not, like, I try to be as objective as I possibly can, right? Because you guys know that I share my portfolio in our Patreon. I own these three companies, right? Nvidia, Tesla in my options portfolio, Tesla in my long-term portfolio, Palantir in my long-term portfolio. So I own these companies. And so if I'm analyzing these companies, if I'm talking about them fundamentally and technically, I have to put all of my biases aside and give you guys very simple, very straightforward analysis on where the valuation is. Are these stocks expensive or cheap? Are we in an uptrend or in a downtrend? So that is what I try to do, is give you guys straight up, no BS, simple, straightforward analysis with objectivity, putting my biases aside. Now, when I do that, of course, there's going to be videos like these where I sent out a warning 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I talked about, these three companies, Tesla, Nvidia, Palantir, warning, I need to say this. And at the time, Tesla was hitting an all-time high at $482. Nvidia was actually, on a relative basis, much better compared to Tesla and Palantir in terms of valuation. So if you go back and watch that video, I talk about it, right? I break down a spreadsheet. I talk about how Nvidia, on a price to sales, price to earnings basis, forward multiples, is better priced compared to Tesla and Palantir. And at the time, it was trading at about $128. Of course, it rallied all the way to 153, 152, hitting a new all-time high. And then, of course, a huge red candle today, selling back down to 140. So still higher than where this was at 128 3 weeks ago. But it was still better priced compared to these two. But Tesla, $482. Palantir, $74, right? And now, of course, these two stocks are trading much lower than where they were trading back then, 3 weeks ago. I even did a video on Tesla just a few days ago, right after the delivery numbers came out. And I kid you not, the amount of hate comments that I got on this video is insane. It is actually crazy, because when I was talking about the entire downtrend for Tesla, where literally any person with a brain looking at charts can see that there is a clear downtrend on Tesla. There's lower highs and there's lower lows. I talked about this in my video. Literally in this video, I go over the downtrend. The Tesla is weak. Technically, it is weak. There is a downtrend. But guess what? I get comments like these. Your bearish posts annoy me. No silver lining. What about energy storage at all-time highs? So the best quarter in car sales ever sounds like more of an uptrend to me. Uptrend. So best quarter in car sales, but it sounds like an uptrend, without looking at technicals, without looking at the charts. I guess you have to make another video contradicting yourself. Why? Because Tesla, after that video, went up 8-9%, because it was still in a lower high and lower low pattern. It was still in a downtrend. So it was coming back up to bounce right back to its lower high. It tagged that lower high and, of course, rolled over. So you get comments like these, and then you really start wondering, like, there is, of course, a huge cult, right? For Tesla, for Palantir, for SoFi, for a lot of these companies. And I think that's where the challenge comes as a content creator, is that you either tell people what they really want to hear, or you tell them what you think is the truth behind your analysis, like the objective analysis that you're trying to provide. Because I know the honesty is always brutal. Honesty is not something that you always want to hear. Like truth is always, what is it called? What's the saying? I forgot what the saying is, but the truth is always sour, I think, bittersweet, something like that. But I'm always going to come out here and tell you exactly what I think about the stock, about the market, keeping my biases aside. And you guys understand that I am long-term very optimistic. I mean, I would be broke if the markets crashed 80-90% tomorrow, right? If a lot of these stocks sold off tomorrow, I would obviously suffer as well because I own positions in these companies. So why would I be bearish on my own holdings? Like, why would I not want to make money over the long term? Everybody benefits, including myself, if these stocks go up. But that's not what we're here to do. We're here to analyze in a very objective way so we can take action. And so another comment was this right here, talk is cheap, show us your put order. 4 days ago, talk is cheap, show us your put order. And I've been showing this on the channel, on our Patreon pretty much all the time. But this right here are my call options that I've actually sold, right? So I've sold these call options to hedge for what I believe to be some downtrends in the market, some weakness in the market. So this is the Nvidia call, $140. I've been able to roll this up from 110 up to 140, and it was up almost 20% today. Since Nvidia was selling off so aggressively, this thing was up almost 20%, over $3,700. This right here are my Palantir and Tesla calls, and you can pretty much clearly see that I've got a 120 call, up $471. This is the total gain, not the daily gain. This is the total gain, up over 24%. Then I've got the Tesla $850 call, up almost $1,800. Then I've got the Tesla $800 call, up over almost $2,500. So this is why we have to be objective in our analysis, because if you're simply buying a stock and you believe blindly that it's going to go to the moon and it's going to keep going higher and you just completely ignore the charts, the technicals, the trends, you're going to get caught off sides very frequently, and you're not going to be able to hedge your positions, right? So this is the whole point that I'm trying to make, is be objective and be honest with yourself, right? Doesn't matter what you believe about the stock. What matters is what the market believes about the stock, what market believes about the company or about the charts and the technicals. That's what matters, because the market at the end of the day is what moves the stock, not you. You don't move the stock, the market does. So we have to understand how the market thinks about that company or that stock, about that chart, so we can take action and be a little bit more proactive in our decisions so that we can hedge properly. So coming back over to these stocks here, so these three over here, and if I go over to Tesla first, Tesla, is obviously, as I said, is in a very clear downtrend. So this was the pop of over 8%, back up to $408, $409, and of course everybody came out of the bear bushes, talking about, or bull bushes, I should say, talking about how the analysis is flawed. I mean, we are clearly in a downtrend, as you can see, lower highs and lower lows. Now, where is going to be that support? Well, I've also discussed that in my previous updates, where 375 is the support for Tesla. So if it actually validates this level right here, then there is going to be some potential demand. But in case we get a breakdown below this, right? So in case Tesla starts to break below this level, then we're going to be looking at this right here is the green rectangle of demand, this area of support. It's going to be sitting in the low 300s. And if that happens, of course, that is going to be a pretty brutal sell-off from all-time highs. But Tesla is a volatile stock. We obviously did not sign up for a bond when we were investing in Tesla, right? We invested in Tesla because we understood that the company has got a lot of potential. It's a growth company, and so it is going to be volatile. It's got a very high beta, similar to Nvidia and Palantir. So if you can't really handle, handle the volatility, then you might not be fitted for Tesla, because there's going to be volatility over many, many years of investing in Tesla. You can understand there's going to be 40-50% drawdowns, and then also 200-300% rallies. And that's just how Tesla operates, right? Same as Nvidia, same as Palantir. So keep a close eye at this downtrend. We really have to sort of break above, this 425 level is what I would call it. So this right here is a little bit of that resistance, which I'm going to mark out in a different color. If Tesla is able to break above 425, call it 428, that's when more long positions will be on the table. But until then, until we break above this downtrend and this resistance, I think all long bets need to be off. And that's why I'm hedging with my covered calls, and I'll be closing those out for a nice profit and opening new ones if we get another breakdown below 375. And that's when I will be looking at selling lower strikes, not as much as 800, 850, but bringing it down to like 700, 650 even for Tesla to collect those premiums and still hedge for that downside. So keep that in mind. I think that's a very important lesson for everyone to understand. And if you come take a look at Palantir, it's still trading down to a very important support. So this right here is going to be that area of demand and support that we have highlighted in our previous videos. That's going to be sitting roughly at just under $70. A lot of consolidation sideways in that range. And of course, if we do get a breakdown below this, then the next target is going to be down here. Once again, is going to be in the high 50s, low 60s. And I know when people hear low $60 for Palantir, oh my God, this guy is so bearish. This guy is like, he's just like, he wants to buy cheap shares. Like, literally just telling you guys the technical charts. That's it. Like, if it breaks down below the support, that's where the next demand is. If it validates, if it validates this level perfectly, then of course we can see that rotation back up and the resistance stays put at $80. So that's the consolidation. You can pretty much clearly see the area of consolidation we're trading in, going a lot of sideways. And then finally coming over to Nvidia, massive red candle. We got a nice little breakout. So this was a downtrending channel, which resulted in a big breakout for Nvidia. But then of course, on the day today, post CES, a lot of sellers stepping in. And of course, with a massive red candle like this, support level is going to stay put at 135, 136. But then I also took advantage of today's sell-off, selling 2 puts on Nvidia at 133. Because long term, I don't mind owning more shares of Nvidia from everything that I learned about, what the company is doing at CES. I'm even more optimistic and bullish for the company's long term. And technically speaking, there is still a lot of consolidation, and there will be, in my opinion, better buying opportunities with better risk reward profiles moving forward. So the overarching message is focus on technicals and charts, focus on fundamentals and valuations, understand risk and reward. When the prices come down, risk comes down with it. Be more excited for discounts and deals, and don't be blindsided by just one view of the world, of the stock, or of the market. So hope you enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Make sure that you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Link's going to be down below if you want to join us, be a part of our Money Invest community, make some money while you're at it. As always, happy investing. I'll see you all in the next video.